Hi, it's David Rowland. I had some questions about yo-yo dieting, and if you've ever been through that, I know it's certainly not a fun thing to do. I certainly applaud your perseverance by, climbing back on that horse and getting after it again. But what I'd like to do is talk about a couple reasons as to why it happens. And if we can understand why it happens, then maybe I can give you a couple tips and tricks so to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And you can really get it on a plan that's more sustainable. And really that is number one. One of the problems with yo-yo dieting is you're probably on a plan or a program or a diet. And by the way, I hate that word diet, but it's just not sustainable. Why would it not be sustainable? Maybe it's too few calories. Let me address this for a minute. A lot of times when people get into a diet or a nutritional plan where they're trying to lose weight, they just drop their calories too low. Conversely, what you should be doing is dropping your calories by about 300 calories below what you should be consuming every day. Okay, so for me, I know that, and this is the math that I do with my clients, and it is very simple math, but I should be consuming about 2,800 calories a day. If I want to lose weight, I'm gonna knock that down by about 300 calories, and then I wanna make sure that I am burning, if I'm only taking in 2,500 calories a day, then I wanna be burning about 2,800 calories a day. So that's gonna give me what we call our caloric deficit. And again, that caloric deficit should only be about 300 calories. What I worry about is I see these people, I won't use me as an example, but maybe they should be consuming 2,000 calories a day, and they drop their calories down to about 1,200 calories a day, and it is just not sustainable, nor is it healthy, okay? The other thing that I see happening a lot on my high-tech board here is people doing way too much cardio. What happens when you do a lot of cardio is you're going to end up losing muscle. When you lose muscle, that is the metabolic component of your body. Muscle burns a lot more calories through the course of a day than fat does. Fat burns very little, so we really want to preserve as much muscle as we can, and I've talked about this in the past. But your diet may not be sustainable because you're simply doing too much cardio. Okay, a couple other points. Many people stop once they hit the number. I'll give you an example what I mean. Let's say you weigh 145 pounds and your goal is to lose 10 pounds. You want to get down to 135. Well, maybe you have a special occasion coming up, et cetera, et cetera. So you start at 145, you want to get down to 135, you get down to 135 and stop, boom, you're done. And you pat yourself in the back for losing the 10 pounds. There's several problems with that. Number one, might I consider that you look more at the average, your average weight loss or your average weight for that week. So at least continue on with that nutritional plan until your average weight is that 10-pound weight loss. That's number one. Number two, I refer to it as bend the metal. You really want to diet down a little bit further than what you think you should. And I'll tell you why. The body is like a piece of metal. And I wish I had a piece of metal here to show you. But if you take a piece of metal and you want to create a right angle out of it, you actually have to bend that metal, as you know, past the right angle, and it's gonna spring back a little bit, okay? Again, we want a right angle in metal. We bend past the right angle so the metal can spring back. And the exact same thing happens with your body. Your body is going to spring back and try to get back to where it was before. So if your goal is to lose 10 pounds, you're probably going to need to drop more like 13, maybe even 14 pounds, depending on how far you came from to start with. And if you combine those two things, so let's say now we, instead of losing 10 pounds, we really think that we should lose 13 pounds because of the metal analogy. We want to take that 13 pounds and make that the average of that week or that time period. The other thing that you probably didn't do, especially if this weight loss was done in a quick period of time with our yo-yo dieting, is you didn't create a new set point. Getting back to my 145 pound person example, that person is used to being 145 pounds. It is not used to being 135. or 132 pounds if we want to lose a little bit more. It's not used to it. So your body is going to try very hard to get back to that point. That's why another reason that we need to stay on that nutritional program for a little bit longer than what we anticipate. Again, to try to recreate that new set point. The third thing that I see in people encountering is they didn't learn anything. They didn't learn anything new. And again, one of the things I try to work with my clients a lot is I want to teach you something new. I want this to be sustainable so you can be healthy forever and ever and ever. If you didn't learn anything new on your plan, you're going to continue yo-yoing with those diets. So with that information, what do we do about this? First of all, we need to make your program sustainable. Okay, we need to focus on this caloric deficit of about 300 calories. Okay, and once we reduce that caloric deficit, once we get there, then we can investigate whether we need to drop the calories lower, whether we need to add some cardio, etc. The other thing is learn something and really try to create a new set point for yourself, and that will make less yo-yoing, if you will, if that's a word. I think I just made it up, and help those results be more sustainable. I hope that helps. If you've been through yo-yo dieting, love to hear your thoughts in particular. You know, what went wrong, what went right, what did you learn, what did you not learn? Let me know. Send me a message, leave a comment below, and love to hear from you. Thanks, folks. Have a great day.